everybody, welcome back. Today we're doing a spring try on haul. I have, I think, about 9 pieces that I ended up ordering from the spring collection. I did a review of the lookbook a couple of weeks back now. I really liked the overall look of the lookbook, so there were quite a few items that I ended up wanting to try out. So I've ordered them today. They are sat in this box behind me here. We're going to get straight on into it, see what I think, see if the materials live up to the impression I got in the lookbook, which I was quite excited about, and see if there's anything in here that I will end up keeping. So before we get to unboxing my order, I want to mention the sponsor of today's video, Gingyberry. Gingyberry are a premium fine jewellery brand specialising in 18 karat solid gold, in diamonds, and of course in pearls. Pearl jewellery is their speciality. It is what they are most well known for. They use triple A graded pearls, the finest and most high quality on the market. They are one of a kind pearls, incredibly high in lustre. They have slight blemishes, they are natural, and they are absolutely beautiful. And one thing I love about Gingyberry is not only are they competitively priced, so they are much more reasonable than other competitor premium pearl brands, but also their pieces are really versatile and you can get different looks from their website. So sometimes I think of pearl jewelry as very traditional, very elegant, very timeless, something a little bit like the necklace I'm wearing today. I love this necklace, but I could also see a woman from 100 years ago wearing this. It has that timeless element that pearls often do, but a lot of their pieces are more modern leaning as well. They have some more interesting designs, some slightly quirkier, more unusual takes on traditional pearl jewelry. So if you have a more modern take, a more modern style, you're still going to be able to incorporate pearls into your look, and they aren't just saved for older women or for women with more traditional style. The bracelet that I'm wearing, for example, is a little bit more of a modern take on a pearl piece of jewelry in comparison to the necklace. Same with my earrings. These are a drop pearl with cubic zirconia stones set in a solid 925 silver. So whether you like silver or gold, they have a little bit of both as well. And their packaging, oh my gosh, their packaging is out of this world. It's incredible. Every single piece comes with its own velvet box, and you can see that if you are gifting this jewelry to someone, the whole unboxing experience, the whole receiving experience of this is so beautiful and so special. This is another necklace that I have from them, which is also has like a layered effect that you can wear in a couple of different ways. That is the other thing about their jewelry. It's super versatile. This necklace, for example, is a double string of pearls, but these are actually separately attached to the clasp, which even the clasp itself is beautiful. You could wear it this way round if you wanted to make a little bit more of a statement out of the clasp itself. It's just as beautiful that it can kind of be a part of the jewelry, which I love. But you can also remove either the thinner string of pearls or the thicker string of pearls if you wanted to wear it as just a single string, or you wanted to layer it with different necklaces, different pieces of jewelry, whether that's just simple gold chains, diamonds, whatever it might be. So all in all, I feel like they are the go-to brand if you are looking for pearl jewelry of any kind, if you want high quality premium materials. I do have a discount code for you. It will get you 15% off. I will leave it on screen, as well as in the description box down below, along with the links to all of the pieces I've shown today. They are also currently running their Mother's Day promotion, so I will leave the details of that in the description box as well, but my discount code can be used on top of that promotion as well, so you'll get a double saving there. Okay, I have my box beside me. I'm just gonna talk you through pieces as and when I grab them. To be honest, some of these pieces might be a little creased as they've been sat in the box for a few days, but hopefully you'll be able to see them better when I show you the cutaways. First off, we have this quilted jacket. This is the Espen jacket in a size UK 12. This is the blue floral padded jacket. Now, I wasn't going to order this initially, but I just really wanted to try it. I love a padded jacket. I love a quilted jacket. And although I felt like I had plenty, well, I have a couple. This one actually was quite different when I saw it on YouTube Shorts. I saw someone styling this on YouTube Shorts, and I realised just how cropped this was in comparison to something like my Renato jacket, which is definitely more of a hip length jacket. This is really cropped. As you can see from the cutaways, it's definitely a shorter jacket. If you are petite, I feel like this could be a really good option for you because it has that quilted kind of padded effect without feeling really overwhelming and drowning on a petite figure because of the length of it. It's just on the more fitted side as well. I got mine in a 12, and to be honest, I would size up in this if you are between sizes because it does run a little bit small, I would say, especially because it does have that cropped length. But yeah, it's a really nice jacket. I don't need it in my wardrobe in particular, but I would say if you're looking for something like this, it's 100% cotton. The lining is also cotton. It's organic cotton made in India. I really love the cool toned pattern cotton. I feel like it's a little bit different to all of the warm tones we've been seeing at Sézane recently, having this blue floral. It is a classic. I know florals for spring, groundbreaking, but honestly, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I feel like florals for spring are, you know, a cliche for a reason because they are really beautiful. So yeah, overall I did like that one. Moving on to a couple of pieces I was actually really disappointed with. This is this green gingham fabric that I spoke about in the lookbook, really wanting to try both the dress and the top in this fabric. This is the Vickerley blouse, not sure, in the Newcastle print, Newcastle check maybe. This is in a UK 10, and I also got the dress version as well, which I will show you in the cutaways. Initially, on first impressions, this is so thin. I mean, I know that this is just cotton and I know it's lightweight for spring, summer, so maybe it being thin is okay, but to me it just feels very cheap. The top in particular I don't mind because I do think, I mean, it's a nice shape. It has this drawstring kind of tie. It reminds me a little bit of the doe end tops, but obviously a lot cheaper than those, and it's definitely oversized. It's definitely generous, so if you're between sizes, I would size down in this one because, I mean, as far as a 10 goes, this is quite large. It's fine. Like, you pair this with a white pair of jeans, a blue pair of jeans, anything really, it's gonna look nice. Am I blown away by it? No. The dress, on the other hand, I really didn't like. I have tried this one on already. I tried on a few of the pieces, I think just the dresses, when it arrived, when my parcel arrived, and instantly this dress I absolutely hated on me. I just thought it was awful, so unflattering, and unlike the top, it does just feel too thin. I think for a dress, which I want to feel a little bit more substantial. Now, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have a lightweight dress for the spring, summer, particularly the summer, but this just felt like cheap. It felt like something you could pick up in H&M for £30 or, you know, somewhere similar to that. It did not feel like a dress that cost over £100. I can't remember exactly how much this dress was, but I know it will have been over £100. And to me, it does not feel worth that. The top portion of the dress is lined, but the bottom portion is not. And I feel like if they had carried the lining onto the bottom half, I would have liked it more, but I still really don't like the cut of the dress. I think it's incredibly unflattering. It is way too baggy up top and a little bit tight around the waist and hips, and then I just don't like anything about it. The shape is just horrible in my opinion, so I definitely won't be keeping it, and I don't really recommend it. I think if you want a dress like that, you can find them at H&M, at Zara for a fraction of the price. And no, I don't normally recommend shopping at places like that, but to be honest, Sézane is moving more and more towards fast fashion anyway, so if they're going to be charging over £100 for a fast fashion quality dress, you may as well just buy it from a genuine fast fashion brand instead, because I don't really honestly feel like Sézane are living up to their B Corp certification at the moment in terms of their releases, in terms of the volume of clothing anyway that they're producing. So you may as well go to H&M and buy a dress for a fraction of the price, in my opinion. Moving on to the top that really sparked this order for me. This was the top I was most intrigued to try. This is the Meline blouse in a crew in the size UK 10. It is definitely cropped. If you watched my lookbook video, you'll know that I was a little bit disappointed when I saw this on TikTok and realised how cropped it actually was, and it is definitely cropped. I think this is a cool fashion piece. If you are a little bit more out there with your style, if you want pieces that push boundaries slightly, a little bit more avant-garde, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a white blouse, it's nothing crazy, but because it is that cape style, it just feels a little bit more fashion than a traditional white blouse that Sézane do 1,000,001 different versions of every year. It's definitely different, it's definitely more unique, but for me it just doesn't feel very wearable. It is too cropped. The cape style just feels a little bit impractical for day-to-day activities. It feels more like an event piece almost, but because it's cotton and because it's just a blouse, it's kind of too casual for an event, but it feels a little bit too dramatic for every day, at least if you're a casual dresser like me. But if you are more of a fashion girly, then maybe you will really like this. It's definitely interesting, it's unusual. At least it's not the same white blouse that Sézane pump out every year, but it's not something that I'm going to keep in my wardrobe, unfortunately. As beautiful as it is on the hanger, I know I won't wear it, and so if you've ordered this and you're thinking the same, I would encourage you to send it back, because the last thing you want to do is spend this kind of money on something that just sits and you stare at in your wardrobe but you never actually wear. So it's a no from me, unfortunately, but you know, I could see it working for some people who have a little bit more of an eccentric style than me. The next piece I have is the Claresset dress. This is basically like a white maxi dress with broderie anglais on it, long sleeve. It's a little bit like a sack of a dress, but I quite like a sack dress. I like to feel a little bit covered sometimes, and I actually really like this dress. I'm not going to keep it, I've decided, because I don't find it special enough. The whole kind of premise, or the whole kind of takeaway from this video for me in this order, is that none of these pieces feel special enough to keep. Some of them are nice, some of them there is nothing inherently wrong with them. They are natural materials. I was actually surprised at how much of the collection was natural materials. Even the stuff that I was thinking was going to be viscose ended up being like a cotton silk blend. So I was impressed in that respect, but nothing feels exciting, nothing feels worthwhile, and maybe that's just because I'm at a place in my wardrobe where I have these pieces already, which could very well be the case, right? You don't need to constantly shop for new things, but if you're at a place where you're just building your wardrobe from scratch, you might actually like a few of these pieces. But for me personally, there was nothing special enough about this dress for me to keep it, and I would honestly rather save my money and save up twice as much and buy a dress from Christy Dawn instead, because to me those feel way more special. Even though they're made of similar materials, even though they are just cotton, the design details there are just next level in comparison to these ultimately quite simple and plain pieces. I have another top here. This top I also was not going to order initially, and then curiosity got the better of me and I did end up adding it to my order. This is the Giselle top in a size 10. It is a sleeveless little blouse, almost like a peplum style top. Again, similar to the cape style top, this feels a little bit more interesting than a traditional Sézane piece. The design is a little bit different. I love a little peplum. I'm a sucker for a little peplum. And this little kind of tie detail on it, the scalloped edging. I really like this. I don't love the colour. It is again that very kind of ropey beige colour, which I'm just never a fan of. I wish it was a true white, but there you go. It's okay. In terms of the material, what is this made of? This is 100% cotton, apart from the stripe, which is polyester. It feels, if you want a comparison to what this feels like, it feels like a slightly thinner version of the Leontine, but it's basically made of the same material as the Leontine. So if you've tried that and you don't like that rough hempy fabric, you're not going to like this. But if you like the fabric of the Leontine, you'll probably really like this, because it is basically the same. Again, this is okay. I feel like it's a little bit low cut. I feel like the cut on this top overall is just a little bit strange, because it's very cropped, but it does come down, the scoop does come down quite low, and obviously the straps are not adjustable or anything, so I feel like you have to have a specific proportion, body type for this to work, and it looks okay on me, but like nothing special. Again, nothing special enough to keep, especially at the price point. I just think, I don't know, I feel like it's a lot of H&M style design and H&M style quality with maybe slightly better material composition, but at like 5 times the price of H&M. So I'm just a little bit disappointed. The one piece of knitwear that I ordered was this jumper, this cardigan. This is the Ambra cardigan in this really lovely colour. I really love the colour of this. And this is an interesting piece. This is a little bit different to Sézane's usual knitwear. This is a different composition to what they usually use. This is 100% natural fabrics. It is a 55% super kid mohair and 45% merino wool made in Spain. It came in unusual sizing, and I remember when I ordered this, there were only 2 pictures on the website of what this looked like, and neither of them were very informative, to be honest. The model was like crossing her arms and you couldn't really see what it was like. So I decided, you know what, if I'm going to do a video, I may as well order this to show people what it's like in case you were thinking about ordering it, but the pictures weren't very helpful. It also came in 3 sizes, 1, 2, and 3, with no explanation at the time I placed the order as to what those actually correlated to or meant. And then I noticed when I looked a few days later, they'd updated the website to have more pictures of the item and an explanation on the sizing. But when I ordered, it wasn't there, so I wasn't very impressed with that. It is a really nice cardigan. I think if you're looking for a cardigan, maybe to layer over dresses in spring, summer, it feels quite lightweight, even though it is mohair and merino wool. It's not very thick. There's also no closures. There's no buttons or anything, so you can't do this up, which is something to be aware of. But I quite like it as a layering piece. I like the colour. I think I still prefer a cotton knit in spring, summer, something like my Christy Dawn Nola cardigan, which is actually a kind of similar vibe, but is 100% cotton. Just feels more appropriate for this time of year. But if you don't mind a little bit of mohair at this time of year, as I said, it's a relatively lightweight piece of knitwear, then you might like this. And I didn't think it was very itchy. I think it wasn't as smooth as cotton or a pure merino wool, but it also wasn't as itchy as some of their traditional mohair knits. So I feel like unless your skin is really sensitive, you'll be absolutely fine with this one. The sizing, I got a size 2 and it fits like a 12, a UK 12. The last 2 items I have to show you are the same dress, but in different patterns, different materials. This is the Rama dress. So I bought this in both of the colours in the end, just because I really liked both actually. I thought this could be a really good dress option for me. They're both cotton, I believe, and I wasn't sure which one I'd prefer. So I decided to order both. Now this first one I got in the UK 10, but by the time I went to place my order, the blue and white one was already out of stock in the UK 10, which actually surprised me. I didn't realise it was going to sell out that quickly, because I'm always super early. I'm always there before 8:30, 9:30. But it was already sold out. So I got that one in the 12. And yeah, the 10 does fit better in terms of the waist and the bust. I actually slightly prefer the length of the 12, just because I like a more maxi dress, but this is the 10. So I got this is like the broderie anglaise with the pink flowers. This one is not lined, whereas the other one, the white and blue one, is lined. So that's something to bear in mind, but it isn't really see-through as such. I actually prefer the white and blue one. I thought I was really going to like this one, but there's something about the very subtle pattern and the slight beigey tone of it that just felt a little bit drab on me, but I do think it's a nice dress. I don't know, I mean, I'm looking at this now and I'm holding it and I just feel like there's loose threads. I don't know if you can see that, but there's loose threads, loose piece of cotton coming off of it already, and it's just been in the box. I don't think I have tried this one on, but like, I don't know, like it's also because it's not lined. Again, it just feels a little bit H&M to me. Like it feels a little bit unspecial. And I don't know if I'm being unnecessarily harsh. Maybe I am. But like, I just feel like this is, I don't know. It just like, is this worth, how much is this? Let me check. This was £170. This is not worth £170. I'm sorry, like, yeah, it's natural fibres, but like, it's just, it's really, I don't know, it's dull. It's dull, I think. And the fit isn't particularly great. These straps are not adjustable, so unless they fit you perfectly just coincidentally, like unless your torso, your shoulders fit in these perfectly and your bust is just the right size, then you're probably gonna have difficulty with them. As I said, there's loose threads coming off of it. Like, even the broderie anglaise, like around the edges, just already feels frayed. Again, I don't think you're gonna be able to see that, but it already feels a little bit frayed. £170, that's a no from me. I definitely prefer the white and blue version, this version. It feels a little bit more substantial because it is fully lined. It's also cotton. I believe the lining is also cotton as well, which I like. And the embroidery, I feel like white and blue always feels quite pretty for summer. I do really love the embroidery. I think it's very, very nice, like these little flowers. Although one thing I did notice is that it doesn't match up. So where they've sewn the different panels together, the different tiers, can you see it doesn't match up at all? Like this flower is cut off and then this one starts randomly. For £170? I don't think it's good enough. I honestly don't. I feel like I've come to a bit of a realization throughout this video. I was just thinking this was going to be a regular Sézane video, but I'm deeply unimpressed overall by this order, especially considering how much I liked the lookbook. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is boho, this is beautiful, I love it. Actually, none of these pieces are going to stay in my wardrobe. I'm going to send all of these back. And I think this is, yeah, this has just been a little bit disappointing for me. But let me know what you think of the pieces, if you like any of them. The materials are nice. I just think it's so overpriced, and I don't know where this thought has come from. I don't know why I'm suddenly feeling like this, because it's not like their prices have gone up massively. I think they've gone up a little bit over the years, but I do just think in combination with the quality and the amount they're pumping out increasing so rapidly, or the quality decreasing, the amount they're pumping out increasing, it doesn't feel special anymore. It doesn't feel interesting. It doesn't feel exciting. And it's definitely making me reflect on whether I want to buy from them again. I know I've said that a few times in the past, but you know, it isn't black or white. I'm never going to say I'm never going to buy from Sézane again, but definitely as I have experiences like this and I get excited for collections and then I kind of feel let down and disappointed, it definitely just makes me pull back more and more. And you can see like the amount of orders, the amount of videos I do on them getting less and less. And I think this has definitely reinforced that for me, and it definitely makes me question whether I'll be placing an order again this summer at least. I love their autumn collections a lot of the time, but all of these pieces have been very meh and very just not worth it, in my opinion. Well, ending that video on a little bit of a low, but let me know what you thought. As I said, I would be interested to know what you thought of this collection. If you have ordered any of the pieces, if you did like the lookbook and then you've ordered a couple of pieces to try, what do you think of the quality? I do think a lot of the materials feel very thin, even though they are natural fibres, especially that green check, as I said, just very, very thin for the price point, and nothing special in the design that warrants the price tag in comparison to other fast fashion brands, in my opinion. But let me know what you think. I always love to hear from you in the comments down below. Thank you very much again to Gingyberry for sponsoring this video. All of my pieces will be linked in the description box for you to check out after this video. The 15% off code will also be there. I will also leave a couple of other videos on screen that you might like to watch next. Otherwise, I hope you're all doing really well, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!